Hi guys, I'm back with another part of the Copic coloring tutorial series, and I'm here to do the hair today. And the hair coloring that I'm going to use for the video is a very contrasting color, and it has a dark brown, a medium brown, and then a very, very light, almost blonde. And I just thought it would be kind of a fun color to use now that it's summer coming up. It just kind of reminded me of, like, you know, the summer highlights. So the colors that I'm going to use today are E57. I'm going to use E25, and I'm going to use E50. So with the coloring today, I'm going to start by doing just a section or two at a time, and this is what you want to do with hair. Just like we did the skin, you only did one part at a time. It's going to be the same thing because you don't want to let it dry before you have time to blend it. So let me see if I can zoom in maybe just a teeny bit more. Okay. So I'm going to try to stay on camera, and I'm sitting sideways, so if it looks like I'm coloring kind of funny, that's because I'm sitting sideways to this image, but I want it the right way for you. Okay. So I start with my darkest color, and again, like I mentioned last time, I keep all the markers uncapped for easy blending. I don't have to keep uncapping and capping them. And I, again, always start with my darkest, and just like I did with the skin, I do what I think looks best. I don't really think about where the natural shading is going to be if I don't know. I mean, if I know, I'll do it, but like I mentioned before, I want this to be fun. I don't want it to be a lot of work and frustration, so I just do what I think looks good and have fun with it. So let me see if you guys can see. I'm going to try to keep my hand out of the way, but it's difficult to do. Okay, so I'm going to start at her part and just kind of brush on, again, one direction. And I'm just going to do this, this kind of middle section here. And I will do the whole left half. And then I pick up my medium color, E25, pull the color out, go back over what you've done, and pull all the color. And you don't want to go too far with this because we want it to look, you know, light in the middle. And then you're going to take your lightest, and this time you're not going to go all the way back to the root. You're just going to go over just probably about 1/8 of an inch and pull color. And the first time you do this, it's not going to blend very well at all because you're blending such a light color with a darker color, which is normally not something you want to do with the Copics. You want to pick similar colors to blend. But this is just a fun contrasting hair tone. Okay. And then what I will do is go back and let's see, I'm guessing there will be shading right around here. Let me see if I can move that so you guys can see what I'm doing here. So I'm just going to start here and pull up that way. And like I mentioned in the last video, make sure that you do not see the nib of your brush bending. It should not be bending at all. You're doing feather light strokes with this. And now I'm going back with my medium color. And then finally my lightest color. And notice I'm not really going too much, oh, you guys can't see that. I'm not really going too much into the center just yet. Okay, so that's it. And again, it's not blended right now, hardly at all. We do have to go back a second time and blend it again. So I'm going to go back to this side and pull that way. And then go back with my E25. And my dogs have joined me for this, so if you hear them, I apologize. They heard my voice and wanted to come in. Now here's where you want to make sure you do a little extra blending, because the next step that we're going to do is actually kind of a flick blending. which I'll show you what I mean, but it's how you get kind of that natural look to the hair, because you don't want it to be just a flat color. You want to give it some sort of dimension. And with the Copics, the way to give it dimension is just with your brush strokes. You don't add anything else to it but the marker color. Okay, and then this, I'm going to go back up that way. And then go back with my medium color. Try to follow the same pattern I did last time, and then with my lightest color. And again, you're going one direction the whole time. You're not going back and forth. You're pulling the color up. This time I will go ahead and just fill in. And I probably should have picked the other side because we've got a big starfish in our way here, which is okay. Alright, so now the next part, what I'm talking about here, and the little girl that I have on the image, I've actually used a little bit yellower tone. But what we're going to do here is we're going to add those little lines. And the best advice I can offer is to practice, 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 because the first time you do it, you're not going to get it. The first 20 times I did it, I just could not get it to look the way I wanted. It just takes practice, holding the pen and doing the brush strokes. So I go back in again with my darkest color, and what I'm going to do is just very, very lightly touch the tip of my marker to the hair and pull in little strokes. And I'm trying to go the same direction as the hair. Okay, so do you see kind of what I did there? I just did little tiny strokes with the very tip of the marker. You're not blending, you're just, at this point, you're just getting the strokes. Now I'm going with my medium color, and I'm starting from the root again, but I'm doing a little bit longer. And then I'm going to go in with my lightest and do the same thing, and this is just to blend a little bit. Okay, so there we've given it a little bit of dimension. And now I'm going to do the same thing with the other side. And again, I'm going to start with my darkest color and kind of feather out, and all I'm doing is touching the tip of my marker. Let me see if I have a paper I can show you on. I'm just touching the tip of my marker, and I'm just making little itty bitty lines like that. And even these are a little bit fatter than I want them to be because I'm on camera and I'm not paying as much attention as I should be to actually what I'm doing. It does take like intense focus to do this and concentration, but you're just kind of flicking out some lines of color. Let me see, make sure you guys can see them. I'm trying to get a good angle so you can see the brush. It's kind of hard to do because my hand keeps getting in the way. Okay, that's, I don't know. I may have to do it that way. Alright, maybe you guys can see that. My hand's still in the way. I'm sorry guys. I'm trying to get like a good way to do this without my hand being in the way. I don't know that it's gonna happen. Alright, let me go back to going like upside down and see if I can do it that way. Alright, I'm gonna have to do this upside down so you guys can see. Sorta. And again, you're going with the direction of the hair. If the head is curved, you're going to try to curve your lines. And I just got it on her ear. And then going with your lightest. And that is pretty much the look you get. You don't want to mark on the ear like I did. That was a mistake. But that just gives it a little bit more dimension. And I'll go back and play with this just a little bit more and try to get, you know, a different look if I want. You can always go back in and blend it again and do the exact same process a second time. What I'm going to do is go ahead and just color in the rest of her and do a fast play. So you can kind of watch what I'm doing, and I'll do my best to stay in frame and so that you can see the strokes. Okay? But again, remember I go from darkest, medium, light always. Alright, so there I have it. What I did was I went in and I added some more streaks here, and it actually ended up quite a bit more brown than this one, and it's just because I used different colors. This one has that yellowish color that blended a little better with the lightest color, and this one, because it was such a contrast, it didn't blend as well, so I had to go in and make it a little bit darker. But I went back in with my medium color to do most of that extra blending here, just to finish it up quickly. So thanks guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys soon. Bye!